Realtor with Thinking Real Estate, Laura Schlecte. Hi, Laura.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Happy spring. You look springy today.
Well, that's what your staff said, so I guess I dressed right.
Yeah.
They didn't say that when I was on the radio.
Well, they probably couldn't see you on the radio.
I didn't know if you'd catch that or not.
Yeah. You had a community conversation Saturday. Did you have a good crowd?
It's always 10 to 30, and it was on the lower side, 10 people.
Do you serve
it's hard to...
snacks?
No, I never
Oh, there
do
you
snacks.
go.
You know me, I'm always like rushing to get one more thing done before I get out the door, so I never have time to do the snack thing. And I don't drink coffee, so I don't ever think of coffee. But yeah, we talked, I recapped the state of the city address that our mayor had, and talked about our art money and how it's been funded. And this Tuesday we'll be voting on $2.5 million to go towards the Masonic Temple. The agenda says towards the community kitchen, but after talking to the city manager, I said, you had me, and I was a no at 2.5 for a community kitchen, but once I read Sarah Richmond's letter, it mentioned an elevator and some other things. So tell me what's really going to happen, and you might get a yes out of me. So it sounds like there's a lot more involved than just community kitchen. He's getting us the detail today. So I'm excited to see what that entails, because it does need an elevator and it does need sprucing up. And we had Artitude there, so it's a great building, and I'd love to see it activated.
Well, in the March 8th agenda packet, it did specify $2.5 million for Incubator Kitchen, community kitchen, and that's it. So you think that the 2.5?
Yeah, the March 8th or
8th.
the March 22nd?
March 8th. Is there a new one? New letter?
Well, the agenda for March 28 came out. It's on our agenda for Tuesday.
Okay, so it's been modified.
Yeah.
And this is ARPA money.
ARPA funds, yeah,
Okay.
which will leave us with about 21 grand before spending the 2.5.
Oh, wow.
Or 21 million, sorry.
21
million,
yeah.
which will leave us with, 19 something after that's spent for that. So it doesn't take long to spend 33
million.
Yeah, but 90% of the money that's been spent has been spent on our water and sewer infrastructure,
Wow.
which hopefully will cut costs down for our citizens at the end of all this lead replacement thing. Or that's just something else that we didn't have to increase water rates for because it was regular maintenance. And then we put other money into affordable housing.
Water rates already went up.
They did.
Are they going to come back down?
Well, it wouldn't happen until, I don't see it happening until the end of the installation of, replacement of all the lead lines, so 20 years from now.
Let's talk about redistricting. We've already seen the results of state and federal congressional district redistricting. Now the city has to be redistricted. Also, the county was redistricted. So interesting. I was looking at these maps. There's like
No, there's two maps. So the one that's up now is our current map.
Okay.
And I represent the purple section up in the northwest corner.
Ward 4.
Ward 4.
Okay. Now let's look at the proposed map. Who drew this proposed map?
You got to pull it up. Oh, there we are.
There it is.
There's Plan A. This one.
Wait a minute, Laura. Your house is not in your district.
No, I'm not. I've been in this one. I'm drawn out. This one also displaces up to 20% of the citizens, the voters, so they would be voting in new locations.
1 out of 5 will be in a new ward.
1 out of 5. 20, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't
seems-
thought of it that way.
That seems excessive.
It does.
The
I had so Bill goes to Starbucks, and a clerk from a township office, and
Bill, your husband, Bill
yeah,
Schlecte.
sorry. Stopped to talk to him purposely about this, and she said that she would never even present a map that displaced 20% of the citizens. It wouldn't even be an option. But the majority of council on the 8th voted, the majority being 4 out of 6. We had one, Angelita Gunn, the 3rd Ward council person, was out for a family emergency. And the reason council said that they voted for it was they liked the straight lines. Well, I'll tell you, I've been doing a lot of digging. I found out that there was a Democratic strategist on the commission. So the commission is made up of 3 appointed officials, our clerk, our city attorney, and city assessor. And then it's supposed to be 2 citizens. One doesn't qualify to sit on the council or on the commission because that person owes money to the city. And if you owe money to the city, can't do stuff for the city, not on the commissions. And the other one is a Democratic strategist.
Connor Wood
Does this for a living. He took Derek Dobie's spot at the AFL-CIO. I've found this out since. I've not personally verified that information and how important that is, but he does this for a living. He does this more than Derek Dobies does this. And he came to the meeting with this map, is what I am told. And the other map, which is Plan B, which mirrors almost identically to our current map, only displaces 4% of the population. Both maps meet the requirements of it has to be compact, has to be contiguous, and it has to be proportionally as close to population in each ward as possible.
Each ward has to have the same number of people.
Correct. And each map meets that qualification. The biggest difference is Map A is straight lines down major roadways, and I had to go to the Board of Review, and I had a gentleman there that knows maps, that has worked for the city for years and is highly intelligent, said you never use straight lines or major roads because that's segregation. You think about it, back in the day, the government is what helped, and realtors, of which I'm part of both. Redlining, and they help stimulate segregation. And when you do straight lines along those major roads were put in place to put white neighborhoods on one side of the road and black neighborhoods on the other side of the road. And so now you are making the Plan A makes our community less diverse.
So this passed.
Doesn't make our community less diverse, makes our voting wards, our voting options less diverse.
So this passed at the March 8th meeting. Is it done?
No, there's one more vote on Tuesday, and council could change their mind and go with Plan B, and I will not vote for Plan A. There's a lot of reasons outside of me being drawn out. I'm passionate. I've got options. I've got plenty of options. So whether I'm in that ward or not is irrelevant. If you look at the maps, when the maps kind of zigzag, you bring in all types of demographics into that voting.
Well,
you don't pre-plan how that vote's going to come out.
The downtown is in one ward right now, and in the new map that they passed, downtown splits.
It doesn't really split it. Actually, west of Jackson goes into Ward 5. East of Jackson, which is the majority of the downtown, will now go into Ward 2. And the other reason the majority of council claimed that they voted for it was because it made the wards more compact. And I had the city engineers, Troy, who was before me on here, his office came out with the average acres in each ward, and 2, 4, and 6 actually get larger, and number 1 does not change. And so 3 and 5 get smaller. So they aren't actually more compact. There's a lot of things that are just the whole presentation, the whole public hearing, it just doesn't sit right for me.
All right, go to the next city council meeting if
the
you want.
22nd. I've got an email that's going out to kind of explain this.
Okay.
If you want me to send you and be included in my email list, you can call my office or email me. And I don't know if my number's anywhere.
We'll get it.
Okay.
Laura, Realtor of the Year last year, also a Master Realtor, and you are hosting a summit for landlords and property managers, and that is coming up. When?
Yeah, that's April 29th, 8:30 to 3:30. I've got some amazing speakers coming in. We're starting the day off with emerging issues, which will include the Institute for Justice, which is a law firm that works pro bono to make sure that people they take on cases that will change legislation in the landlord world. and make sure that people are treated justly. So it'll be interesting to hear what kind of cases that they've been working on.
That they've got some,
Yeah, and I'll have other people involved in that legislative update or emerging issues. I've got a gentleman coming over from Grand Rapids who's going to talk about the cost of flipping and turning houses into either to flip them or to rent them. I've got a company out of Portland, I think they're out of Portland, Washington, that deals with short-term rental software, and another gal from Detroit who works with a lot of short-term rentals, and she's going to be a speaker. We'll have a best practice panel, big property management company and a medium-sized landlord and a small landlord. So there'll be a lot of stuff going on, and we'll have vendors, and our mayor is going to do a round table. So come and meet our mayor and have a conversation with him. He's very open-minded. I'm very, very pleased with Daniel Mahoney. And then my husband's going to do a legal update. So
Nice.
that's April 29th, 8:30 to 3:30.
all right, there are advertising and sponsorship opportunities. Contact Laura at Thinking Real Estate if you'd like to be part of this. As always, we appreciate your time and your.
Well, thanks for having me. Hope I spoke
expertise.
fast enough. People can rewind it, listen to me. Slow
Come
it
back.
down.
Come back and talk some more.
Okay,
All
will
right.
do. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Laura Schlecte. Next.